here at Shri Mataji, we the Sahaja Yogis of Australia have put together some short videos to present to you at this Christmas time of 2021. Shri Mataji, we offer these videos at your holy lotus feet, and the videos contain yogis presenting brief outlines of the different projects and initiatives that have been undertaken in this last year to spread Sahaja Yoga and to give self-realization, and also various projects within the collective to advance the collective and Sahaja culture. Shri Mataji, we pray for your divine attention on the yogis working to bring about your vision for humanity. And Mother, we wish you a very Merry Christmas from all your children of Australia. And we humbly thank you for all your blessings. Jai Shri Mataji.
Every day, the yogis who've shared their experience, it's just a shout out to each and every one of all of you beautiful people. Like I said, just as I go, I'm taking some pictures because it is just lovely to be able to see you guys in person. Also remember, we will be having our workshop tomorrow. I'm continuing with my announcements as I go. Do remember, tomorrow we have the workshop. So please feel free, join in on the workshop tomorrow. And if you have any friends, families, colleagues you would like to share this experience with, tomorrow is a day where you can absolutely do that. So please feel free. We will be catering to absolute beginners tomorrow as well. So thank you for being on this fantastic journey with us. We are very, very honored and humbled to have you here. So I'm saying this again and again, we are, all of us from across the world are really humbled to have you here. So let us quickly just fold our hands as we do always. It is a sign of humility where we fold our hands, bow down in respect, and we pay homage to our own mother, our own Kundalini, which resides within us, which is protecting us and looking after us. And as always, we just say Jai Shri Mataji, which in Hindi or Sanskrit means obeisance to you, Mother, for looking after me. So Jai Shri Mataji to all of you lovely people.
Jai Shri Mataji.
Jai Shri Mataji.
You don't have to do anything on your end. Just sit back. It'll move you automatically. So just don't fidget with your Zoom right now. And then we'll just resume in about 2 minutes to see if anyone is left.
Dearest Shri Mataji, there has been a very strong desire in Australia to establish a primary school in the land of Ganesha, where the children can be nurtured, where their innocence can be looked after, where they can be showered with love, where they can receive a schooling in true Sahaj circumstances and surroundings. We, the Board of Life Eternal Education, have been working since the beginning of the year to bring this to realisation. The board has been meeting on a weekly basis, and we've been talking about the various options that we have to establish a school, initially looking at the possibility of starting the school at the Sahaj property at Balmoral. So having worked through a lot of various things, that opportunity is no longer available to us. And so we've turned our attention to other opportunities and looking at other properties in Australia. We humbly bow at your feet, Shri Mataji, and ask your blessings on this project, that we can bring this to fruition.
Shri Mataji, in the late 1980s, the first Sahaj school was established in Melbourne, Australia. We know that you are very pleased with this school, and it has been a disappointment that the school closed, and it is our strong desire to re-establish an Australian school for Sahaja Yogi children. We are working diligently to find the right property and the right situation that will allow a new Sahaj primary school to be established. We ask for your blessings and your guidance to help us achieve this aim.
Thank you, Shri Mataji. With your blessing, the best and the joyful part of the whole project was contacting the other schools. We got the opportunity to speak to Cabela School, ISPS, Burwood School, the other schools being established at the moment, and just the contacting them and talking to them was the greatest joy, as we all felt that there is a need, that there should be Sahaj schools in all around the world. We talked about Sahaj curriculum. We just shared ideas and the struggles, but how much joy all these schools give. So thank you, Shri Mataji, for bringing us all together through this project.
Shri Mataji, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to work with a wonderful group of yogis from around Australia and New Zealand, teachers and policy writers, to write what looked like an absolute mountain of policies to be written, but they dissolved before our eyes with your guidance. And we thought the same with the curriculum, that looked insurmountable too. But the teachers worked very hard, and it became easier and easier as they went through it. So we look forward to next year continuing to write more Sahaj curriculum and being part of a worldwide project to write Sahaj curriculum.
Jai Shri Mataji. I've had the wonderful opportunity, Shri Mataji, through your blessings, to be able to help move this project forward, as the Balmoral project has now come to a completion. We are looking at a number of properties at the moment. One is at Kadanga Creek, which was a school previously, a state school, and another one is at Warwick, which was also previously a school. These properties, we ask for your guidance. We also ask that we find the right property. These schools, these properties may not be the right ones at this point of time, but it's a wonderful journey to be on, to be going out there and to be looking and to be finding it. And it brings great joy to be involved in this project in this way. So Shri Mataji, Please keep guiding us. Please lead us to the right property. And thank you for this opportunity to do your work and to help the Sahaja children become established early on in their lives in Sahaj. Thank you, Shri Mataji.
Jai Shri Mataji. Mother, it's been my pleasure to work with the Life Eternal Education Board this year in capacity as Treasurer and also as member as National Coordinator. Shri Mataji, although the Balmoral property has not worked out, we know that you do everything and everything works out for a reason. So, Mother, we humbly offer at your lotus feet that we may find a new location for the school, and we fully surrender to you, and we know this school can only be achieved by your desire. We ask that we could be your channels to create something special that will last for many generations and that will establish the Sri Ganesha vibrations of the whole universe throughout the Virata. Mother, it's our great desire that this school comes into being, and we love you with all our heart. Jai Shri Mataji.
Shri Mataji, I feel so blessed and honoured to be a part of this Sahaj School project. This opportunity came to me spontaneously when I was looking to get more involved in Sahaj projects. And being a secretary and doing the minutes for the meetings every week has been a real learning experience, and I feel so proud of all the progress the board has made to making the school, and especially as a Yuva and a past student of ISPS, it's really amazing to see the other side of how hard it really is to build a school, but how rewarding and how special it is to be a part of creating that Sahaj environment for future children, especially in Australia. Jai Shri Mataji.
Jai Shri Mataji. It's been such a blessing actually being on the board of all these beautiful Sahaja Yogis, and I've learnt so many lessons about myself and about Sahaja Yoga during this whole process, and it's been a really beautiful experience seeing Sahaja Yogis work so nicely together. It's completely by Shri Mataji's blessing that this board has been put together, and it's so nice to witness it working so smoothly. Shri Mataji, I really hope that this project comes to fruition, and it's your desire that we have this beautiful school in Australia. Shri Mataji.
Jai Shri Mataji.
The hallmark of our meetings has been joy. Thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts that we've had this opportunity to spend time together. Thank you for the joyful moments that we've spent together. Thank you for the opportunity. Please give us your blessing, Shri Mataji, to establish this school. Jai Shri Mataji.
Jai Shri Mataji.
Jai Shri Mataji, everyone. Shri Mataji, we wanted to thank you very much with all our heart for allowing us to be part of the online programs where all the seekers from all over the world have been joining to be a part of this spiritual emancipation and get connected to you. We've been very lucky in Canberra. We're a small collective, but we've all come together to run 21 days of the 7 series, where we had 7 days of beginners, 7 days of intermediate, and 7 days of advanced. So we had the 21 days everyday meditation. Then we've been doing twice a week, maintaining everyone's enlightened awareness, and heading towards bringing everyone to your puja, and then bringing everyone to their collectives wherever they are all over the world. And wonderfully, we already have 2 new seekers from our online programs attending the Canberra Collective, and we have at least another 3 attending intermediate live sessions at the ASHRAM. So thank you so much, Shri Mataji, for that. In the new year, we'll take those online programs with the seekers that are still with us. There's about 20 mentor relationships currently where yogis are mentoring the seekers, just helping them with any questions and just seeing that they're ready to join the collective and join your puja, Shri Mataji. So thank you very much for allowing us to be part of that. Ongoing as well, we've got twice a week online and in-person programs where new people come and get realisation. And as well, we've got our intermediate program at the Canberra ASHRAM, where people, even from the online program, are also attending for the intermediate program, getting ready to join the collective. So thank you so much, Shri Mataji. It's also brought our collective together, where we've had people doing the tech work who are online here, people hosting, some of whom are not in this current view at the moment with you, but they're very much there. And also, of course, mentoring and supporting with their vibrations, the ongoing work. So thank you so much, Shri Mataji, for your blessings, and may we continue with you.
Thank you, Shri Mataji, for giving us Sahaja Yoga and for allowing us to be your instruments. Thank you very much for using us, and thank you very much for giving us a wonderful collective to be part of. And thank you very much again for using us. Thank you, Shri Mataji.
Jai Shri
Mataji. Maybe just a quick one to share the experience we are having with our mentee, who's actually has the desire to spread Sahaja Yoga in Zambia. And so we are now working towards getting her ready and confident to spread Sahaja Yoga, and we might even maybe start an online program very soon for the population of Zambia. So yeah, that was one beautiful experience.
Wonderful, wonderful. Jai Shri Mataji. Thank you, Shri Mataji.
Jai Shri Mataji. Thank you, Shri Mataji.
Jai Shri Mataji. Thank you, Shri Mataji. Firstly, we just want to really thank you for looking after our centre, Mother's Love Childcare. We've been operating now for 20 years, and it's all because of your grace and your love that you established it. We have many different children who come through the centre. Surabhi, I think we have quite a number of different nationalities who come through the centre.
Yes, we have children from Vietnam, from Spain, from China, from Armenia, from India, from the UK. They're just coming from so many places, just to the center, and they really, really love it. There's just no feeling of difference. They're a part of the center, and there's just this love of Shri Mataji's that just flows through the center, and the children are just there with it.
Very good. And the families that come to our centre, Shri Mataji, are all, some of them are immigrants who have come from different countries. And I think, Surya, you were saying that the family...
Yes, they are actually, the centre actually supports them. A lot of people, they have their children and they don't have any support, or sometimes they do, but there's this love of Shri Mataji just flows, and they just know. And sometimes the support comes in the form of sharing what the children are doing, or understanding how the childhood works, or and just feeling how the children are just being looked after. So they've got this security that the children are at the preschool and they don't have to worry. They seem to, all the families that come, they just seem to know that even without actually mentioning anything to them, they actually say that it feels like there is this love in this childcare that the other places do not have. They are calling it. They say it's like its name. It's mother's love. They always say that. Not one, but I've heard that comment a lot of times. Yeah.
And sometimes we've had children come back to the centre when they're 14, 15 years old. And
yes.
So.
Yeah, I mean, this year actually 2 boys came, and they are now 15 years old, and they just came back because they wanted to see the centre and meet all the teachers. But it's not just them. Almost every year there's some student coming back to the childcare centre looking for the childcare centre.
It's also that love.
Very, very, yeah. Yeah, it's again that love, that feeling that they don't forget, even when they're after 10 years, after 15 years sometimes. They've come and had visited the centre. Yeah.
Also, we have set up the centre as a not-for-profit centre now, and so the government. We're very fortunate by your grace, Shri Mataji, that the government has given us quite a number of grants which have really helped to set the centre apart from other centres. We have solar panels, which has been really good for us to support the environment. We've got a beautiful centre at the back, which was made by some of our volunteers, and also from the money from the grant, we were able to set up a beautiful, very natural sort of area at the back. The children love playing in it, and also now this year we've just established a centre at the front, which is a beautiful play area with a lot of natural plants and different surfaces, and the children are really enjoying that area. We also get a lot of support from from Sahaja Yogis.
Yes.
So who's coming into the centre to give us support, Sir?
Yeah, we have got actually. There's lots of people who actually just very quietly in the background always are helping us, and some of them are fundraising. There are people who are coming to do meditation classes. Some at different times. There are people who have come to help us with the Chinese students who can't speak the Chinese language. So we had some people just coming there and looking after that. People have done postering for the centre, letting people know they have come to voluntarily help with the gardening, with the maintenance, with the IT. So there is a lot of support group that actually helps us, Sahaja Yogis and volunteers that are helping us to run the centre. Yeah.
And this year we had a lot of artists in our community.
Yes. Some people donated their paintings, and not only paintings, but there are crafts, beautiful works that they have done. And we did some fundraising with that, and that supported the centre as well.
So Shri Mataji, really thank you from the bottom of our hearts for establishing this centre and keeping it running, and we really pray that many more Sahaj and non-Sahaj children come to the centre so they can feel your blessing and your love, and with all of our hearts we pray that the centre stays as it is, as you wish it to be, and we always use it as a vehicle for your love to flow.
As your vehicle, yeah, to spread your love.
Jai Shri Mataji.
Jai Shri Mataji.
Too many thoughts fill your mind? Online meditation courses haven't met your expectations? Do not lose hope with Meditate Now. Meditate Now is free and with a few simple clicks connects you in real time to an expert dedicated to you. Connect to us. Wherever you are, we will be there. Experience Sahaja Yoga meditation. It's an innovation. Sahaja Yoga is based on the awakening of our inner energy. Thoughts slow down until they disappear. And in this silence, we reach a state of peace and well-being. Connect with Meditate Now. You will find yogis who will stop their run to meditate with you. They'll meet you in their kitchen and they'll put their business aside to take care of you. With simple movements, in just a few minutes, Sahaja Yoga meditation will transform your day. Discover the ocean of peace that is within you. Join in, dissolve your thoughts, and experience the connection. Meditate now, you'll be amazed. With the desire that you also receive the same love and the same care that she has given us.
So the Mother Earth becomes a very important thing for us. If we do not know how to respect the Mother Earth, we do not know how to respect ourselves.
You are our mother, you are our friend, you guide us from beginning, you guide us till the end.
My name is Brett Johnson. I'm the National Coordinator for Sahaja Yoga in Australia. Today we welcome you to a celebration of World Environment Day as organised by the United Nations on the 5th of June. So today we'll be bringing you a series of meditations, music, dances, videos and talks, all to celebrate and recognise the Mother Earth who looks after us and sustains us and supports us in so many ways. So Sahaja Yoga was started in 1970 by Shri Mataji NIRMALA DEVI and has spread all over the world free of charge. And Shri Mataji always said that you should never pay for your spiritual ascent or your spiritual growth, much in the same way as we don't have to pay the Mother Earth for all her living processes. Our spiritual growth or our meditations is a living process, and it can just be passed from one enlightened person to another. So on many occasions Shri Mataji has spoken about the importance of Mother Earth and our connection to her, and how she supports us and helps us find balance and peace within ourselves. So her vision for Sahaja Yoga was to give as many people peace and inner balance as possible all over the world, so that then results in balance on the outside as well, and all our human troubles such as our environmental troubles, political and economic troubles can all be solved because they're human problems. So if we can find the balance within ourselves as human beings, and we'll also find the balance on the outside. So we hope you enjoy the day, we hope you enjoy your meditation. We thank the Mother Earth and we hope you enjoy. Thank you very much.
Faces, they surrender life to thee.
Hello, my name is Jenny. I live in Sydney and I've been practicing Sahaja Yoga for the last 20 years or so. Now, Mother Earth and its nature has always played a very big part in my life. If I wanted to feel peace, I would always take myself to a beach or to a forest or to a mountain so I could feel that silence that I knew I had inside. But since starting Sahaja Yoga and with the awakening of the Kundalini within me, I realized that I can feel this peace anywhere, regardless of where I am. And this is because this Kundalini energy is the reflection of the Mother Earth within us. So I can be in the busiest city or the tallest building, and I can still connect to that peace within me.
Shri Mataji. I'm here today to talk about the BALMORAL remediation project on behalf of Life Eternal Trust and the Sahaja Collective. It's interesting, I've been talking to the local council down in the area around the school project, and when we mentioned our BALMORAL property, everyone refers to it as the BALMORAL miracle. And they said, no one down there understands how our buildings and the whole survived the 2019 bushfires, and they said that as an absolute act of God that your buildings were saved. And although the buildings were saved, the bushfires did extensive damage to all the infrastructure at BALMORAL. So all the fencing, all the power, the plumbing, all the irrigation, all the machinery, the tooling. So there was extensive damage, and as a result, Life Eternal Trust was successful in securing a $350,000 insurance payout. In addition to that payout, we were successful in getting a government grant for remediation of $50,000 and a grant from Commonwealth Bank for a further $50,000. So in all, we had a budget of $450,000, which was an incredible outcome, all through the blessings of Shri Mataji. In the last 2 years, there's been a major BALMORAL remediation project that's been underway. And there's been some fantastic outcomes, and in fact the BALMORAL property is probably better now in many respects than it was before the bushfires. So a lot of the outhouses that were sort of ad hoc and built across the property were destroyed, and we've got a purpose-built incredible new shed that acts as a workshop, a storage facility and a place to store Shri Mataji's vehicles. So it's a major piece of new infrastructure down at BALMORAL. We've had almost 4 kilometres of boundary fencing, new boundary fencing installed right throughout the property, new irrigation systems, new plumbing. There's been an upgrade to the power supply to the property, and there's been also a lot of improvements in the amenities and the landscaping and the general outlay of the property. The caretaker's cottage where Simon and Ellen live, that's also been remediated and improved. So all in all, our much-loved BALMORAL property has been benefited through the BALMORAL remediation project, through the granting of the insurance funding, the monies, and the payouts, including tremendous effort from the collective. So there was a huge building project, landscaping project, and the New South Wales Collective in particular really, the last 2 years have worked incredibly hard down at BALMORAL, including building, landscaping, remediation, cleaning, to really uplift our property and put it into a really beautiful state. So on behalf of all the collective and Life Eternal Trust Australia, I thank Shri Mataji for her blessings, which are unending, and her grace and power and love is the vehicle through which all good things are accomplished, and we acknowledge and bow to our Mother. Jai Shri Mataji.
नच प्राण संज्ञो नवे पंचवायुः नच प्राण संज्ञो.
All right, we'll go ahead and get started. So hello and welcome everybody. Thank you all for joining the program. We're all really happy to be joining you all and sharing this experience of Sahaja Yoga meditation. I'll just start off by introducing myself. My name is James. I'm originally from the US. I've been living in Australia for about 5 years now. And I've been practicing Sahaja Yoga since I was about 19, 20 years old. So about 15 years. I myself started practicing at a public program similar to this, only it was run face-to-face at my university. These days I'm working in IT. I'm living in Melbourne, Australia. I'm still using Sahaja Yoga meditation every single day. And really for me, it's just a great tool to actually connect to my spirit and really about the direct enjoyment and experience you get from meditation yourself. And I'd say on a simpler level, I meditate just to bring myself into balance, sort of decompress after work. But really it's just about bringing more joy, happiness, and balance into my life. I'll just pass you off now to my wife Sadhna, who's also co-hosting this program with us.
Hey everyone, I'm Sadhna. It's really nice to finally see you all. Thank you for reading all of the messages on the WhatsApp group. So I'll just give you a quick background of my experiences. I've been practicing Sahaja Yoga since I was a child, as both of my parents were practitioners for many, many years. Currently, I'm a teacher at a special needs school here in Melbourne. And I find that the techniques I've learned through Sahaja Yoga over the years has really helped me to recover from a very busy and stressful day, because we all know how much energy children can take up. But it's definitely helped me a lot. So I just wanted to go through the structure of the program in case you're not familiar with it. It will be running for 21 days, ending on the 22nd of December, just in time for Christmas. So that'll be 3 weeks in total, with a beginners, an intermediate, and an advanced program. So James and I will be hosting the first week, which is the beginners program. Each day there'll be a guest speaker that will present a new topic, and they'll be providing a guided meditation, maybe show you some videos, put some music on, and basically just show some techniques for you to try at home. And I want to stress that the goal of this course is not just to give you 21 days of meditation, but to give you the resources and the guidance to be able to continually meditate even after the course is finished, because this is something that you can use for the rest of your lives. It's not just 21 days, it's actually a lifelong sort of experience and a lifelong process where you grow, and that'll all be dependent on, what you're feeling and how you're going.
Thanks, Sadhna. So as Sadhna was saying, we're going to have different guest presenters every day to give you a variety of guided meditations and topics. We're all based out of Melbourne for this current program. And today's presenter is Mark. He's a really wonderful guy that I know personally. And he's been meditating and teaching meditation for many, many years. So you're in really great hands for getting started off with Sahaja with Mark. I'll pass you over to him now.
Hi, Mark is my name. Welcome to Sahaja Yoga. Today you're going to get your self-realization. And self-realization is an actual spiritual event that's going to take place now with an exercise that we're about to do. Okay, so what's going to happen is that you have an energy in the base of your spine here, in the triangular bone, called the Kundalini. This energy is known as Kundalini in Sanskrit, but if you're from a Christian background, you could say it's the Holy Spirit. If you're from an Islamic background, it's the Ruh, the breath of God. If you're Jewish, it's the Ruah. If you're Aboriginal, it's called the rainbow serpent. All the different cultures have understood that there is an activation that has to happen, a second birth, your enlightenment, and so on. And this is what's about to take place for you right now. So this energy is going to rise up your spine, and you're going to feel a cool breeze coming out of the top of your head. And that cool breeze is the proof that something's actually happened. Now, when you look at the old spiritual paintings, for example, you can see the halos around the saints, you know, in the old Christian paintings. That's a depiction of this awakening. If you're a Buddhist, you have a lotus flower on Lord Buddha's head. It's the same thing. If you're from a Hinduism background, it's the waterfall from Lord Shiva's head. If you're from Islamic background, it's the fire coming out of the Prophet's head, for example. There's a lot of old paintings that depict this. So all of these great religions understood that there's a spiritual event that has to happen, okay? And that's what's going to happen today.
Can everyone see my screen right now? Okay, cool. Thanks for asking that question, because actually I wanted to point out on here that we do have a place for you to post questions. If you want to pop onto this link, you can write whatever questions you have, and we'll try our best to answer them for you. And we'll actually use this line as sort of a support so you can carry on meditating at home even after the 21 days. We're going to try and arrange some sort of peer support to be able to mentor you through that. Anyway, I'm going to take it back up to the top of the site. We just have the basic program here, what's going to happen throughout the 3 weeks. You can join here with Zoom, which is recommended, so that we can, later on as the course progresses, we'll probably open it up for more, allocate more time for chats and questions and everything. And you can, of course, watch it on YouTube as well. Again, this is where you can join the chat and ask your questions afterwards. If you look here, we have the full schedule for the upcoming week, so you can sort of preview what the topic is. And also, if you're wanting to review what we did the previous day, it's going to be posted here. So you can go to day one. If there was something in Shri Mataji's speech or something Mark said that you'd like to review or follow along again with, you can just come here and watch the previous sessions. And one of the most important parts of the site is tucked away down here at the bottom. It's called Resources. If you click this open, there's a lot of amazing materials for meditating at home. So here, how to meditate at home, how to set it up. We have the subtle system. If you want to have a deeper look into the subtle system and what's happening with the chakra chart, you can have a look at it here. There's meditative music. If you want to start meditating at home, but you want sort of something in the background to sort of help calm your thoughts or something to put your attention onto to guide your meditation. Anyway, it's a really incredible resource that they've put together, and it's all available to you for free. So I'd really recommend come and having a browse and make use of it. And I would just reiterate as well that meditation, it really, the benefits and the experience really develop a lot with nurturing and with practice. So I would encourage everyone, whenever you have some spare time, to come onto here and find out which of these resources might help you get into meditation and get you practicing at home.
But yeah, again, I'll just go through. So we have 2 drop-down options here. So we have just under streaming classes, Australian classes and worldwide classes. And so these, for anyone who's new, just coming today or recently, yeah, you can basically click on any of these options over here and find classes or like weekly programs in your local area, get in contact with the local Sahaja Collective. And so I encourage everyone, if possible, to see if they can do that, because this just to keep that consistency with the meditation and to have just even being with other yogis is very good and promotes the meditation and the process a lot more. So additionally we have the worldwide classes, so I'll just click on that quickly. And again, for every country essentially we've got independent websites which you can click on, and hopefully they have the local information for that area. And so that's pretty much it. I'm just going to stop sharing right now. And so it's been an amazing 21-day program. Very sad to see it end today. We can see, I might just move this, but there's so a few familiar faces. So Sadhna and Jimmy from the first week, presenters who did an amazing job as well.
Hi guys.
Hey everybody, good to see you again.
Good to be back.
And also Cardi and Nina from last week, who handed over to me and Carmen. And obviously, so a lot of the people who have their cameras on are doing weekly programs and conducting them and presenting them and everything. So just so you can see their faces and see the community that's surrounding projects like this 21-day program and supporting it and everything. It's been awesome. It's been great to present in this to co-host in this last week, and to be on this journey with everyone. And even just being part of the programs and watching them as well has been really, really amazing. Had some amazing meditations, amazing programs. And of course, I feel, at least me, I learned a lot as well. And I hope even if only a few people stay on, I reckon it'll still definitely be worth it. And please, everyone, keep in contact with us. The WhatsApp groups will remain open, and we'll keep running. So any questions about anything that you need help with, please feel free to just post it on the group, and one of the many faces on the screen will get back to you and help you as soon as possible.
Shri Mataji, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts for your blessings that allowed your children in Melbourne, Australia to be your NIRMAL instruments for the 21-day realization series this December in 2021. We fall short of words to express our gratitude for your love and care that works at so many levels, much beyond our human comprehension. The 21-day workshop was not only an excellent opportunity for seekers to take to their ultimate step in their spiritual evolution, but also created a re-energized collaboration amongst the collective. We feel so proud to be the blessed children of the Adi Shakti, who are able to go beyond all limitations of the current pandemic, personal inhibitions, and geography to reach one and sundry with your redeeming message. In this realization that everything around us, the technology and tools we are given, these blossom times, and the help from Devis and Devtas at every step, we feel immensely fortunate and satisfied. Shri Mataji, hoye sake jo seva, humse kara lena. Jai Shri Mataji.
Jai Shri Mataji. We had a very serious fire early this year, and we're very grateful that by your blessings the GIDGEGANNUP ASHRAM was saved. It came very, very close. It was a very scary experience for us all. But following that, and there was a lot of work to be done to ensure that the ashram would be better protected for any future threats. So there was a lot of work generated by the collective. It actually gave the birth to a maintenance group to come together. Initially, the focus was on making the place safe for fire, cutting all around the property at a safe distance and removing all the dead trees and branches. And then it developed from there what else we can do for the ashram to start fixing up various features initially from a safety point of view. A lot of work was done on developing a deck. I'll let maybe other people talk about that, but that was a very big project. Myself, I became, following that activity, I working with a couple of other yogis, the Perth yogis. We looked at what we can do to beautify the side of the ashram, and we came up with the idea of using limestone blocks and developing a fountain to be a focal point just outside the ashram. It was a pretty interesting sort of project. And what came out of working on all of this is that it was fairly physical at times, some of the activities we're doing, but it was very enjoyable working with the collective. And there was a lot of laughter as well as hard work. Very enjoyable experience just to feel that vibration and the love of fellow collectives and the chatting and joy over the lunchtime meals, etc.
So for me, I was lucky enough to be involved in the maintenance group, doing lots of little things to start off with, chopping some trees down and burning the dead trees and things around the property along with everybody else. And then I got involved with the decking and helping to a little bit to take the sleepers off and things, and then dismantling it, and then to help put the decking on, drilling all the boards on and things like that. And the collectivity that it's generated, the joy that I have felt has just been amazing, and reconnecting with everybody, with all of everyone being separated with COVID and things like that. It's just like the fire actually brought us all together again, which is really, heartwarming. And just hanging around, having our meals, lunch and morning tea, afternoon tea, that really hardworking yoginis, Sharon and Kamlesh and many others, were preparing for us. So it was it's just been amazing and such a blessing. And I thank Shri Mataji from the bottom of my heart for all of that, for my brothers and my sisters, and for the opportunity, to be involved. What a beautiful place it is. It's very good.
So we really did have a wonderful team of yogis who gave so much of their time, whether it was in planning or buying equipment or bringing equipment and or preparing various items. So because of the bushfires, we really needed to refurbish a lot of the old timbers that were there. So a lot of old heavy timbers were taken away. The steelwork was cleaned and repainted, as Ron has said. The new timbers were fireproofed, coated with high quality fireproof paint, and rebuilt with scaffolding and really heavy work. Sealing the gap above the roof line was working with steel, cutting to shape, grinding, and so many people contributed. The opportunities were just really enjoyable, and topped off with nice cups of tea, coffee, the ladies who worked so hard to make the lunch. And what we really wanted to do from our hearts was to bring the ashram back to a good state of maintenance and improvements and beautification. So while it's been going for nearly the whole year, and many, many weekends been involved, it's just really been so enjoyable for us all. And I know we all thank Shri Mataji for the collectivity, for the opportunity, for the ashram, for the nature, for guiding us in being there. We've just enjoyed it. Anybody who hasn't seen GIDGEGANNUP, it really is a special place. We invite our brothers and sisters to come and visit us at some stage. Jai Shri Mataji.
Jai Shri Mataji.
From Wanneroo, Queensland, and I guess at the start of the pandemic we were sort of left drifting. We didn't know, because we were locked out of the ashram and locked out of our Saturday programs, our collective programs. We thought about getting online. Didn't know really how to do it. So it kind of evolved. Gradually, we had to learn some new software, how to connect all these things together, technology. And so we started, with our collective Saturday programs. First of all, it was local, and then national, and then we thought, we better start doing PUJAS. So again, we had to coordinate everything, get the bhajan group together, coordinate all the songs. We had to buy some cameras, some equipment, tripods, etc. Webcams were in very short supply. We couldn't buy a webcam anywhere in the world. They were all snapped up because everyone was trying to communicate online. So anyway, we managed to procure 2 webcams with tripods, and so it began. And we kind of evolved as we went along. We had to download a lot of material and queue it all up and press the right buttons, and hopefully it would all come out right at the end. So that's the way our programs evolved from the start of the pandemic. It was kind of a trial by error process. But I think we did quite a good job from the viewers. I think we get like 1,500 people viewing the content from all around the world. So it's not just a local thing. We were basically global. So thank you very much, Mother, for the opportunity to contribute in some small way to providing, connection with the greater Sahaja Sangha, and hopefully at the end of all these pandemics, whatever happens, we'll get back to normal, maybe. But it's been a very fruitful journey, I believe. And yes, thank you, Mother. So I'll hand it over to Richard to say a few words.
Jai Shri Mataji. Well, I'm in Western Australia at the moment, in Perth, and the yogis here, I think we all consider ourselves very fortunate because we've had very minimal restrictions, and so we can continue doing what we do, which is to have face-to-face, in-person programs in the community, as we're all used to doing in the past. And we see that as a blessing, but also as a responsibility to keep that aspect, that vital aspect of basically developing new Sahaja Yogis to bring to Shri Mataji's feet when other parts of the world can't really do that. So I think we're all very fortunate to have the online thing developing, as Peter has described earlier. But at some point, you've got to get into the room with people, you've got to have a cup of tea, some cake, and Sahaja Yoga can't really progress beyond the initial self-realization if you can't at some stage do that. So we feel responsible really to keep that aspect alive and going while the rest of the world is facing these restrictions. We're also looking at re-establishing Sahaj programs in high schools because in many ways we feel that younger people are the future. Well, we all know that, and so we want to make sure that people get their self-realization and the opportunity to become Sahaja Yogis themselves at the earliest opportunity. So that's something we're very excited about doing in 2022. And also we've taken things since Navratri, we've organised to have a weekly collective face-to-face meditation at different yogis' house. And it was just a desire that we had at Navratri because we had such a wonderful time doing that. And so, for the last 3 months or so, we've been getting around and doing that vital Sahaj thing of having a collective morning meditation, again, face-to-face, and just making the most of that. So we're very grateful. We also see it as a duty and a joyful responsibility. And I just want to wish everybody all the very best. And we just need to keep working together and just remember that as yogis, we need to look after our own ascent and make sure that we bring many, many more Sahaja Yogis to join us. So thank you very much. Jai Shri Mataji. And I'll just hand over now to Edwin.
Jai Shri Mataji. Thank you very much, Richard. Shri Mataji, we'd like to thank you for this opportunity to prepare this video. We thank you for the self-realization, Mother. We thank you for the unconditional divine love and compassion, Mother. We thank you for all the blessings and removing all the barriers during this trying time of COVID, that we are still able to continue to do your important work. And also for the motivation of all our Sahaj brothers and sisters around the world that kept us motivated, kept us interested, and gave us the innovation and creativity to embrace these trying, challenging times. I've been involved with most of the online programs, and it has been my strong desire for many years to get the online technology moving. Being in a regional town like Townsville in Queensland, there isn't a collective here, and we've really struggled because we used to go to Cairns once a month for pujas and workshops and programs. And many yogis over the years have done a lot of work in Townsville. And the thing about meditation is the discipline and the support and the ability to get some help when you're not having such a good day. And all those things have been solved. All those issues have been solved by the online opportunities with all the different platforms. So I am very, very excited about the development with the technology and all the tools that the Divine is providing us with, and being involved with so many programs like the 21-day programs. I helped out with some of the online programs that were held for the African continent, an initiative by some of the European yogis. And I've got to say, I am just so excited because it's made the world a very, very small place. It's removed all those excuses that we used to have when we were lazy to do anything, because now anyone can do anything. And what was very encouraging with the online programs was the number of yogis that I noticed that had were probably shy to stand up in front of face-to-face programs, always stepping up and doing programs, learning the technology. And the series that went through on the Queensland Facebook program and the Journey Within has been just phenomenal in the enthusiasm and excitement that was coming from yogis and seekers alike, because all those disciplines that we struggle with when our life gets busy, the online programs just took it away, because from your comfort of your home, you can get in and join any meditation program. It's the opportunities now for the whole world to get their realization is only limited by what we think about it. Because Shri Mataji has just opened up the floodgates now. And the growth, me personally, since the online programs have come on, I found my depth in Sahaja Yoga grew tremendously, because the programs, the scheduled time of the program, I worked my whole routine around it. And I found that things that I used to struggle with before COVID, it's just exciting how, I've become a more joyful person, less stressed out, contrary to the fact that we've got COVID now. We should be all stressed out. I'm not feeling that. I'm just feeling the love, and I'm feeling the divine protection. Thank you, Shri Mataji. We are eternally grateful to you, and we love you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Jai Shri Mataji.
Jai Shri Mataji.
शरणं नास्ति त्वमेव शरणं मम अन्यथा शरणं हृदयं समर्पयामि प्राणं समर्पयामि तव पादपद्मे मातः सर्वं समर्पयामि अन्यथा शरणं नास्ति त्वमेव शरणं मम अन्यथा शरणं नास्ति त्वमेव शरणं मम त्वमेव साक्षात् हरिप्रिया त्वमेव मावागेश्वरी त्वमेव साक्षात् हरिप्रिया त्वमेव मावागेश्वरी महादुर्गा महाकाली महामाया महेश्वरी भाग्यं समर्पयामि कर्मं समर्पयामि तव पादपद्मे मातः सर्वं समर्पयामि अन्यथा शरणं नास्ति त्वमेव शरणं मम अन्यथा शरणं नास्ति त्वमेव शरणं मम स्वयं साध्या स्वयं सिद्धि स्वयं सिद्धा स्वयं प्रभा स्वयं साध्या स्वयं सिद्धि स्वयं सिद्धा स्वयं प्रभा सुगुणरत्ना सुकृतकृता सुमति गंगा समोज्वला
Diwali means the rose of light. So you are going to make this beautiful mansion of God full of Diwali light. You have entered into the kingdom of God and you have to enlighten. So you are the decoration of God. On one side, you are the glory of God, and also on the other side, you are the guidelines. You are like the torches. You can say you are like the, what you call them, which are used by ships, those. Lighthouse. You have to become lighthouses, so that people see you. You stand out, a light. Like that. And for that, you have to have self-discipline. Put your willpower. Put it. Willpower. Put it down. How can I not do it? Now, in this place, I am going to start, within say 2-3 days after Diwali, a morning session. Say about, we can start about 5 o'clock every morning or 5:30 every morning. You have to have your bath before coming here. Say 5:30 or 5 o'clock. Will that be all right? Your mother gets up at 4:30, whatever may happen. You have to change your habits. You have to get up in the morning. You know, by getting up in the morning, you finish up so much of work. Because in the night, what do you do? There is gossip. Waste your time. But if you say that tonight let me sleep late and tomorrow I'll get up early, you'll never. First get up early, then you sleep early. The other way around. You see, you have to see your mind how it works. So get up in the morning, have your bath, and sit down for meditation. It's quite a warm room. So have your nice hot bath, sit down for your meditation for about an hour or so, meditate. You'll feel so nice. After some time, you cannot sleep after 4:30. Now look at my system. I mean, whether I am in America or whether I am in India and where I get up at 4:30. How do I manage? I have no watch, nothing like that. I just get up at 4:30. I've tuned myself to the sun. You are tuned more to the moon. I have tuned myself to the sun. When the sun comes at this angle, I have to get up, because that is the time the vibrations have to flow. All over the world, at 4:30 in the morning, all the vibrations, the best time, flow in the purest form. That's why all the seers get up very early, have their baths and sit down for meditation. It's too much, I know, especially for Englishmen. But you have to train up this. You will do it, you'll like it. If you do it like a festival. If today is a festival day, let us get up and have a nice bath and have a nice soap, you see, perfumed one and nice things. You enjoy it. Bath should be a ritual. But should not be all the time. Because I see ladies sitting there quite happy. Like Indians also, they bathe too much. That is not necessary. Too much not, but one. And then if you sit at home for about an hour or so, the house is lighted. I could get this place lighted in the morning. From here, you will be amazed that if you develop this habit, you can do such a lot. Because in the evening you are tired, you cannot do many things, and you are absolutely flat down. See? So you sleep early. And this is English thing, early to bed and early to rise. Not Indian, is it? And that's what we have to do. And you'll be amazed, you'll do 1,001 things if you get up early in the morning. So we are going to try that after Diwali. I'm going to announce those who can try with me can do it.
त्वमेव शरणं मम त्वमेव शरणं मम
Satisfied.